97-98 session. I finished 97-98 session and went for my service here immediately. On leaving the service year, I went in for my master's degree. The only reasonable progress there for me was environmental management and protection. I haven't studied that as a second, as a minor course in my first degree. But in between that, I got to know about safety right from my service here. I think that's when I actually got to know about safety. Even though in my first degree, I did come encounter with a bit of safety while I was doing my IT in some places around Cross River State. But by the time I was to serve, and I was serving in Bayelsa State in Yenagoa precisely, I stumbled into health and safety during the service here in the Ministry of Works and Housing, which is not actually the ministry I was posted to. I was posted to the Ministry of Agric. However, Ministry of Agric had nothing for me to do. And I was asked to just, regularly just come in and sign your clearance every month. But in between that, a friend of mine works around the Ministry of Works and Housing. He's is a builder, is an engineer. So, and we were living together in the same rented apartment. So, one of those funny things was to say, okay, I'm not doing anything in Ministry of Agri since they don't need me, but you are working where you are. I don't want to waste so much time. I can follow you and all of that. And I think that was what triggered health and safety, because it was at his own place of primary assignment that I got to understand what health and safety was all about, because they had a safety officer who was working with them in the construction place where he was working in Yenagoa. So that's how I got to know about health and safety, but not directly employed. And I left Yenagoa back to the West, to Lagos, and went for my master's degree. And then, what I saw in Yenagoa will not leave my mind. How you see something and you just think, okay, I don't know anything about this and I'm saying, but this may just look like what I want. But of course, I didn't know how to progress. There was nothing to do while I was doing my master than to do some other things, just get busy, looking for employment in different places. That story for another time, because I actually got employed in the bank. I got employed in an advertising company, all within the space of about 6 months or thereabout. But all of that, I was very sure was not what I was supposed to be doing. And then just about 2000, I met someone who, of course, understands safety a little bit, and then my journey started. And that journey began by becoming like an intern. It's not intern that is called then. It's just stand here, and if anybody asks you what you do, tell them you're a safety officer. And that's how the job started. And then here we are today. I hope I summarized it well.
Yeah, you did quite well, sir. Very interesting to know you've even worked in a bank. I was just wondering how you were into the bank sector. I never knew you were there. So how were you able,
I was lucky not to do banking. I was in training school when I ran away.
oh wow. Imagine
Yeah,
God. That's
I
interesting
was
to know. I
in
never interesting to know. So that means
yes.
what really motivated you to this career path? What really motivated you to this career path? Do you have another kind of scenario that actually said, oh, you really want to start this career path?
Hmm. Okay, so to be honest with you, I tell people that I came into health and safety by accident. And that's not because I had an accident, but because I just stumbled at something, and it wasn't too long for me to just agree with myself that that was what I wanted to do. The best way to put this is to say you see something and somebody just tells you that's it, that's what you are looking for. To be honest, I'm not even sure I was looking for safety when I found it. Because like I said, in Yenagoa, I was just a passing by, and I mean, I'm talking about 26 years ago. How many people in service here that time actually do, especially in a place here, Yenagoa, that was a new state. Bayelsa was a new state when I was posted there to go and serve. That was when the first governor of that state came after they created the state. So there was really nothing, but I mean, for 12 months, let me give you some backstory, because there was nothing for me to do where they posted me to. I used that period of my service here to do two things. Number one, I remember, and this is always very funny. I remember one day I woke up and I went straight to one or two of my friends. I said, hey guys, we can do business in this place. Now, why are we just, I mean, you are working here, you are teaching in school, you are going to a construction center. Me, I don't have anything to do. Okay, guys, can we put money together? Copper already like this. So right from when I was in the Enegua, I became a business person because I set up a business without a business name, and I got money from my friends, and we started the trade we call, because I schooled in Abia State. So I knew about that region very well for 5 years. So I said, oh, Yenegua, look at people, they don't have books, they don't have management books, they don't have Christian books, they don't have this. I would be the one to go and buy. I know where to buy them in Aba, buy them in Lagos, and I'll bring them for sale. I will make money. And we raised money as equity, and I started the business because I had so much time in my hands. It was part of that time I had in my hands that also made me to tell my friend, okay, when I'm not selling the books, can I follow you to your own place? Since you are very busy, and let me even be looking at the construction work that you guys are doing. That was why I found safety. So I didn't really think it was ever in my dream. I don't even know what it meant. No, I didn't know what safety was all about. I've never really been in a workplace, so I didn't even know they do safety or something is called safety. So this day when I see people saying, what is safety? I just laugh, because even me, I'm trying to set safety to you. That was my situation some 25, 26 years ago. I didn't know what safety was all about. But I got in. And when I saw it, something told me, this is it. But remember, I said I left the service and I came back to the West, and I didn't say anything again on safety. So I went back to some of my business while I was doing my master's. As a matter of fact, I went to School of Agriculture. So my father has a plot of land. I'll plant vegetable, get rabbits. I was doing rabbitry. I was doing chicken while I was doing my master's degree. And I was also having the opportunity to say, what will I do? That was when I applied to get a job, and I got a job in the bank. I was also one of the first staff of Zenith Bank in Abeokuta, because I claimed I was schooling in Abeokuta, so they said they were going to post me there. And after a few weeks in that training school, I ran away. Advertising as well, because I'm giving you this example so that you know that it's not as if I knew safety was what I was going to do. I didn't know safety was what I was going to do. So as a young person, I had to look for work while I was doing my master's degree. And that was why I got into the bank, got into the advertising industry. And I just knew it was not for me until I met someone who says, okay, you can be a safety person. You are doing environment. You're almost done with your master's degree. We have one small job for you somewhere. Your own is just to make sure you wear your that. I will tell you what to do. That was the beginning of my career. So I didn't know that safety was what I was going to do, but I saw it by providence. And when I finally made up my mind to do it was when I realized I was jettisoning a job that would have been paying me about 120,000 naira per month. Then I left that job and I went to take a safety job that was paying me about 20,000 naira per month. That was when I knew, inside of me, I was convinced that this is what I was supposed to do. So the comparison of how much I was earning there and what they're going to pay me was too far apart. But then I was now convinced that this thing called safety looks like what I would like to do. And then I trust myself into it. I haven't looked back since then.
All right. So beautiful. So far, do you really regret picking this career?
Wow. I'm happy I ended by telling you that I've not looked back. That does not mean there have not been times where you ask yourself, oh my God, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Especially those days when, people don't know exactly what to do. It's very interesting today, and I always tell people that come into health and safety right now, some young people that are in the industry, that you have come into the industry where there's already a bit of popularity, a bit of acceptance. I'm seeing the list here. I can see some of my very good colleagues here in our own age category, Monica and the rest of the people here. Thank you for joining. Those days you couldn't tell anybody that you're a safety person. What is safety? As a matter of fact, I had a lot of insults. I had a lot of somebody just looking down on you and saying, it used to be funny then that I remember one experience I had where I went to an old student association meeting, and I was the topic of discussion because they asked you what you do, and I said I'm a safety officer. And I remember the president or the person coordinating saying, this is why we're having an association like this. If you don't have anything to do, tell all of us. Let us know you don't have anything to do so that we can help you. You can't be coming here and say you are doing the safety officer when you don't really have a job to do. It didn't say directly like that, but it was not too difficult for me to know I was that topic of discussion because safety was not popular. Was not something you could just go out there to go and say. So maybe those are the days I would have said a bit of regret that, hey, I get outside and they say, what do you do? In fact, let me tell you something. There are times in my career, I tell people that I'm a security person or I'm a fire person because those ones they could relate with. But safety officer, excuse me. And I'm sure some of you know that even today, it's still very difficult for people to agree when you say you're a safety officer, it's a safety. But the popularity has grown. So those were the little one I can talk about when it comes to regrets. However, there have not been anything to make me look back to something else. I want to say categorically that I've never thought about another career since I moved into it fully in 2000. I've never thought about anything else I could have done. It's because the more I get into the career and the industry, the more I begin to see how useful, my role was or is going to be in this industry. I began to see how useful I am to the industry. And therefore, that understanding that I'm an important component in the workplace just drives me on. So there's no regret of choosing something else. And I'm sure, Yetunde, at this stage, it's difficult for me to choose anything else again. This is
Yes, sir.
25 years
So that means
building a career, and I'm still building it. So nobody can tell me to quit right now. Where am I quitting to? I have to go and do another one for another 25 years? No way. We have gotten to the last bridge. And for your information, that bridge that brought me to safety, I've already removed the bridge, so I cannot cross back.
So will you not say it's because you have your own business? That's what makes you enjoy the career. For us that we are still working under someone, will you say because you have your own business, that's what makes you to still love this career? You don't want to, you have already burned the bridges.
You want to set me up, right? Okay. It's all right. So let me go back to what I said earlier on. I jettisoned a job in the bank to chase this job, to chase the safety career. And the disparity in the payment then was 1/6. And it was not to build my business. It was to become an employee and to become an officer and worked. And by that singular reason, I worked from 2000 to 2011 before I quit paid job. So that should give you an idea that I didn't start business right from, some of us today, it's very interesting. It's not impossible that some people just enter into safety today and they become entrepreneur right there. Mine took me at least 11 years of learning in the workplace. So it's not because I have a business right now that makes me feel I cannot. Come on. If I really switch on to be a business person, I could leave safety as a business and go to any other business. I'm sure you know that.
Yes, sir.
I can go to estate business. I don't need to be an estate manager. I can own an estate business. I can hold logistics business. I can own an airline. I can own anything I want to own as a business person. And that is if I really want to be a business person. But I'm a safety person. In fact, in some last two years or thereabout, I started calling myself a safetypreneur. If I'm not just an entrepreneur, which means I don't just want to start selling newspapers as an entrepreneur. I don't want to just start saying I'm an entrepreneur, so any business I say I do. No, I'm a safetypreneur. It means safety is still part of what I have to do, even if I'm doing business. So I have to continue to create and unearth and reveal different businesses that come with health and safety. So that tells you that safety is still the foundation. It's not anything else. So it's not being a business person that make me say I've burned the bridge. No, to be honest, I really want to thank God and Providence that I found myself in this industry. I'm not sure I would have been able to do anything else successfully the way I've done this, because it's a career of passion. And when you are driven by the passion for what you want to do, it's like if I have to tell somebody and say, what's safety to me? Safety to me is like a hobby right now. When something is your hobby, the simple definition is that it's something you love to do. So I no longer see safety, as a matter of fact, as a job, as a business. It's just something that I love to do.
Mm.
That's why I said the bridge is burnt. Don't offer me another career tomorrow. You can like double and triple the amount I'm going to earn. I'm sorry. That bridge is burnt already. You can't go to another career.
Mm.
It's done. Yeah.
That was a very beautiful response, sir. So, what role has the mentorship and coaching help played in this your career path? I believe you have a
Oh,
mentor, sir.
oh yes. Oh, I have mentors in different aspects of my life. So I mean, there are people there that are there to guide me, to lead me, to direct me. There are people there that I have to go to cry when I need to cry and all of that. So that's normal. But I want to state that starting this career was a very lonely path
Mm.
for me. Very lonely because the emphasis and all the instructions and all the attention today that we're placing on mentoring, coaching, and all those CPD and self-development initiatives were largely lacking, especially in the safety industry then. They were largely lacking, because it was an emerging industry, and we have to agree with that. Even as of today, I still tell people that care to listen that safety is an emerging industry in Nigeria. It has not emerged at all. You cannot place safety in the same level where you put other careers like engineering, medicine, marketing, banking, insurance. You cannot put safety there because you cannot say somebody today. Just imagine anybody else say, somebody asks you, what do you do? Say you're a banker, and the person say, I don't know what you mean. They cannot ask you to start defining what you do when you say you're a banker. Some of us can still get to play where somebody say, who are you? Or what do you do? And you say, I do safety. And they'll ask you, what is safety? So it is still an emerging career. And that means at the earlier part of the whole development, some of us did not have the right, mentors, the right coaches, the right guidance to follow in the way that would have produced more output. We're thanking God today for where we are, but I have to tell you, if I had the same kind of resources that are available today now in 2000 when I started this career, maybe I possibly be flying in the air right now. I don't want to fly because I'm not a bird, but I guess I would have done more. I guess I would have had more. I guess I would have developed more. And a typical example that I always use to describe this is you can imagine in 2001, was it 2001, 2002? I'm trying to remember now, 2002. I, during the course of my search for this career, and I wanted to know what to do there, I stumbled at Nibosh. And I ran to someone who was supposed to be like my leader or my person who is also a safety person. And I ran and said, excuse me, I just saw this qualification is called NIBOSH. What do you think about it? And the person just rubbished this qualification. As in rubbished it completely and said it's not important, don't do it. That was 2001. And said, no, there's no need. What do you need it for? You don't need it for this, you don't need it for that. And I went back to my closet and I said, okay, I don't need it. Then the more I read concerning what was happening globally and around me, this Nibosh and Ayosh kept popping up. They kept popping up on my face. So I secretly, without letting him know, enrolled for Nibosh and I did my Nibosh. I actually got my Nibosh in 2002. That's when I did the first qualification. That was barely 2 years into the industry that I did it. My wife is one of those that can tell you the story of what happened to me then because I wasn't earning so much and I needed to do the course and it was not Nigeria. I had to do it in the UK. So everywhere I needed to get money, I got money to do that course. So we didn't have those people that can say, follow this path, do this, after this, do this. After I did my Nibosh at level 3, 2 years later, somebody came to sell a course in Nigeria. Very good friend of mine from British Safety Council. It was level 1, level 2 risk assessment. And here is me going to pay again and apply for the course. And I go into the class and the person started introducing the course. And I looked at it and said, what is this? Is it what I paid for? The reason was because there was nobody that would have given me the pathway to say, after you do this and you have gathered this experience, go next to this, go next to this, do this. There was nothing. It was trial and error. Do level 6 today, come back and do level 1 of the same course. Get angry in the class that you're wasting your money, but nobody could direct you. So that, to be honest, was very lacking. And I challenged someone like Monica Jam, if they are here, to also tell me if they actually had mentor as a safety mentor when they started. It was very difficult. But as we progressed, we had to start mentoring ourselves. And I remember my first mentor was outside of Nigeria, was a British, to get to say, I want to grow in this career. How do I go about it? And that's how I moved. And interestingly, that person eventually, was the first person I had to go and partner with when I started the neighbor training, and of course the president of IOSH, and I met quite a number of people I couldn't find in the industry here. People really understood that. I'm not saying they were not professionals, senior than me, people that were safety people that know their job very well, but there was not so much clamor about mentoring and coaching the younger ones. So even when you went to them to say you wanted to do something, the advice they gave you was not what you wanted to hear. And then some of us had to just navigate in either way and find ourselves where we are today. But I know the place of mentorship, coaching. And so even as I grew, I kept expanding my mentorship portfolio, expanding people to talk to me. So today, like I told you, I have mentor even on the business, not a safety mentor, a business mentor who I can run to say, this is what's happening in my business. What do you think I should do? I have a spiritual mentor. I have career mentor, even a safety person that can talk to me. So, and I can tell you that has created a whole lot of, platform for me to ride on, has given me a shoulder to fly from. And so the evidences of what I see around myself today, I can largely pin some of them to those people that are helping me to navigate this road. I'm still navigating the road. So I'm not there yet, and I'm still moving. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dapo. So if you have not picked this current profession, which other profession you have pursued in terms of another career?
My father wanted me to be a medical doctor. So, but I know if I had been a medical doctor, I would have been a disaster myself. So that wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. I think the only other career I would have picked, to be honest with you, would have been to just be, because I'm an artist. And people don't know that part of me. They don't know that part of my creative ability. And there are things that interest me even till today. And one of those things, I'm not saying artist as per actor. I mean an artist, that can do impression on canvas, on collage, on drawing, generally painting, and all of that. That was a big part of me while I was growing up into secondary school, even into university. But today, well, for me, I didn't train in it. I think so it's just a talent. But if I have my way, that's what I would have loved to do. That's something, because I know it would have given me a lot of joy. And the reason why I'm still in this career is because the career that gives me joy. Is passionate. And I don't think I would like to do anything that I will not be happy with. So if somebody drops me in those engineering and medical things, no matter how much you pay me, I'll be going home every day and be crying. Because I'm one of those people that believe so much that when you do what you love, you give your best without even getting tired. And that's it for me. So it could have been just being an artist somewhere there, or inviting you guys to come and visit my artist studio and come and see my exhibition, my works, and all of that. That's what I would have done.
Interesting. So how do you stay updated with the current trend and development in the industry?
All right. This industry is such a knowledge industry. Please let me state that for everyone that is listening to me. Because one of the things that we have had that have played very negatively for us in Nigeria is that people are thrown into safety because they think it's just something you can do. I never get job, I won't work, and come and be safety here. And they show you. A lot of us might have gotten into safety like that, but I'm sure as soon as you enter into it, you realize that this is a knowledge industry. Therefore, there is no way you can survive or you can be successful in this industry without paying attention to learning. And I'm not just saying learning on how to tell people to wear their hard hats. No, that's not the safety industry. There's a lot to learn. So for me, I do not trivialize my ability to learn. I do. In fact, there's nothing as important to me as growing. And the way I do this is at different ways. This is one of the forum because again, when you invite someone to come talk and you are chatting and you're having conversation with people, is giving and taking. So there's learning and there's relearning, there's unlearning. So I give myself a lot to attending professional programs. I mean, my subscription for professional program in a year runs into millions because that is where I draw my not just inspiration, but my knowledge from, especially because I'm a Nigerian based in Nigeria. And if you follow technology and you follow transfer of technology from one part of the world to the other, you would know that it takes an average of 10 to 15 years between the developing and the developed world. What I mean by that is what we are doing in Nigeria today possibly have started in Europe and America in the last 15 years. So if I do not subscribe to those knowledge that are already based outside of this country to know what I need to do, how do I bring it here to be able to do? So that's a very important part of me. I do not reserve any attention to, oh, this cannot be done. No, once it is to learn, conferences, I will go anywhere in the world. If I can see one or two things that I need to learn in that conference, off I have gone. Books, again, for those who are close to me, they know how seriously I read, you know. I have books all around me. I buy books like, like food. I have investment to like a budget for my career development on yearly basis. And some of those things do not just come by saying I'm going to conferences. It's also in books. This January alone, I already have 8 books bought. Eight already paid for, received, and I'm already reading them. And some of them are not just safety books. Some of them are books that cut across several things. Because I don't just want to be a safety idiot. I want to have knowledge of what is around me. So, I mean, you should not have a conversation about something and I'll tell myself I don't know anything about it. No, I don't want to be the master of everything, but I should have knowledge of basic things. So every year I always tell myself, what is the next thing to learn? What is the next thing I want to learn? So what I need to learn this year, for example, is right there on my table, and I know what I'm learning this year, and I'm working towards it. So conferences, reading, again, I'm still going to school, and I joke with some people. I say, I wish I have so much time to still go for a lot of study. It's tough, running a business, and also, nobody's running a business. I was going to the school at the same time. I'm trying to look for money, and then you want me to be spending money. So, but I can tell anyone my growth to where I am, first is God, but secondly, it's also because I give myself to study, I give myself to learning, I give myself to knowing what I need to do. I'm the first to jump up if I don't know it, and I'll let you know I don't know it and go to learn it. So it doesn't take anything from me. And I tell people there's no sin, and you have not committed a crime by saying you don't know. It only tells you that you have to know. So you say this, I said, no, I don't know about it. And something I want to go and learn. So that's how I've kept myself abreast. I'm very close to the developed world to know what is going on and, forcefully or willingly bring it to Nigeria to be something we can all learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dapo. Thank you for that wonderful comment. What advice will you give to someone that just starting this career that you have now?
If you're just starting in the health and safety or sustainability or environment industry, I think I'll first congratulate you very seriously because there is no better time. There is no better time to join this career than now because either globally or even locally, a lot of things have made it very important for us now to be recognized. Our significance in the industry or in the whole affairs or workplace is obvious right now. I mean, it may not be 100%, but people can see it. People know about it. So you are coming in not at a time where you'll be afraid to tell somebody this is what you do, like some of us were those days. And if that is real, then and you have chosen this career, I think my first advice to you is to know that this career is not because you want to come and make money. If you have chosen here because you are here to collect salary and you want to make money, and they've told you this is where they pay salary, you will not survive. You will not succeed. You will not have an impact. You need to know that this, I mean, how do you continuously talk to someone who wants to kill himself, even when the person is harassing you and shouting down at you? You still don't stop. It takes beyond the fact that they're going to pay you salary. Because if they are just going to pay you salary, that's what you're saying, then you can swear forget about the salary. It's a career of passion. It's a career of love. It's a career that drives you. You will not be able to sleep if that thing is going wrong. You cannot take a nap. You will be agitated. You'll be shaking because, I mean, do you know today, I still go to some places and I'm seeing some dangerous job and I'm shaking. I'm actually like, God, what's going on here? Can somebody stop this guy? I could as well just walk past him and just go and say, well, you drop and die doesn't stop anybody from paying my salary. No, that's not this career. It's so different from other career that you can consider. We are in the career of love, of passion, of care, and that's where our foundation is even called the duty of care. So that's what we are. So you need to, if you don't have that passion for this career, please quit it. There are other businesses or jobs or professions that can pay you well. I'm not saying safety does not pay well. Safety pays well, but it's not going to be impactful if you are just there because you want to earn a salary. Develop the passion for this industry and get your pen and paper and get ready to learn. You have to learn. Sometimes I look at, I was reading someone article, one of my friends, Uche, I was reading his comment on LinkedIn today that he has just achieved a professional advanced profession, something in industrial hygiene. And I was like, chai, people sabi read though. Because I remember I did certificate in industrial hygiene some years back. And that's one course that after I did that industrial certificate, I told myself I would never go back for the diploma because my head was like this. People like Cynthia that are doing industrial hygiene, I salute them because all those jargons in noise mapping and, I just couldn't handle them, even though I passed the course. There's so much to learn. Look at any specialization in safety and go into it. You will learn until you die. You can never finish learning it. So get ready to learn. Get ready to contribute into knowledge, knowledge system, because that's what we have. Don't just get the job. I mean, I don't want to mention a name. Somebody spoke to me not too long ago, and the guy was after he finished speaking and I spoke to him, he practically started crying, and I told him, I'm sorry, you don't ask for my advice. I didn't want you to cry, but I have to tell you this truth. You have been in the safety company, you have been working as a safety officer in a company for the past 15 years. And the only certification that you have ever gained was the one you took from ISPON that you got in 2007. 2007. And from 2007 till now, no other training or certification under your belt after 15 years. I said you are in the wrong place. And that's why they're not paying me well. He's been earning less than 200,000 for 15 years. Why would they pay you more than 200,000 in 15 years if you have only learned only one certification in 15 years? And that's the reality. You can't stay and just say, it doesn't matter, I'm now getting, because when you start working and they start paying you, you will forget that you need to develop yourself. Remember, they employ you for what you have. The next person that want to employ you will employ you for what you are bringing to them. And for me, if I'm the employer, you already don't have an, because when I look at CV, that's what I look at. What have you done for yourself in 2, 3, 4, 5 years? You haven't done anything, you can't be in my employment. I'm sorry. When I look at CV, that's what I look at. It's a growing career that you have to keep updating and updating yourself. Policies are changing, laws are changing, control parameters are changing, and then you are just sitting there saying, I'm a safety person, and I'm just a safety officer. You're going to be a safety officer for 40 years, and there will not be an apology to you. So new person, learn. Use the opportunity of a lot of people that are even, it's very interesting that I see people advertising that they want to be your mentor. Wow. People are ready to be your coach and mentor. They are saying, I have space. Someone on LinkedIn said, somebody said, I have space to mentor 2 persons for the next 3 months. If you're interested, send me your details. I was like, oh my God. There's so much opportunity. Avail yourself of those opportunities. Latch onto them. Pay the dues. And the dues is it does not come free. It's not cheap. If it is cheap, nobody will be there. So don't tell me, oh, it's because I have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. I jokingly tell people today, I say very soon, I'll start charging people for mentorship and for internship. That may sound funny because you have to show that you are ready, because people don't appreciate what they don't pay for. So pay for it. Pay for that person's session. Don't think it's just give you, pay for the session. Because, hey, guys, that's how it happens in most parts of the world. You want someone to talk to you for 1 hour, they tell you this is our pay. You pay first before you even have the link to talk to me. Go to the lawyers and see how they deal with people that you understand. So, but here we have people that are ready to help, people that are ready to contribute to you. Please make good use of it. Nigerians, especially in this safety industry, are fantastic people. I've interacted with a whole lot of Nigerians in the safety industry. The passion with which they do their job is second to none. Get into their books, get to them, let them help you so that you have a shoulder to stand on, and you can, as I round up this, you can take the leap of 5 years, while you are still in your second year. When I had a career empowerment seminar, my very first one that I had, August 27th, 2010, which launched me into my business. I said something on the podium to everyone. I'm very happy today that a whole lot of people that attended that seminar in 2010 are the leaders of safety in Nigeria today. And I said something, I said, it's taking me about 11 years, 12 years to be where I am now. But if you have the right coach and mentor, you can get there in 5 years. And to be honest, I've seen that happen. I've seen people with 10 years experience today in Nigeria in safety who are the head and country manager of safety of conglomerate. Because you have a shoulder to rest on, you can see further. You can fly more than when there's nobody to support you. Nigerian safety professionals are wonderful people, and they'll be ready to support you if you're a new person. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dapo. How do you balance your personal and professional life? I'm aware you're married, so I just want to see how you balance that up, maintaining everything at home. Now, I'm a lady, so I'm married too, so I know how it can be sometimes to how do you balance that
Yes.
up to ensure that your wife is not suffering, the job is not suffering, everything is balanced.
That is so hard, except you are very intentional. That is so hard if you are not very intentional to give time to different things. At the earliest time of my career as a professional, I had no challenge managing. In fact, my work-life balance was, if there's anything that's 100%, then I would say it was more than 100% beautiful. That's when I was an employee. When I became a business person, my first 3 years is 1 year I don't want to go back to again in my life, because those 3 years were like the year that, in fact, the only way to summarize is that nothing else mattered to me but the business. Nothing else mattered. I was jumping from left, right, and center. I remember I told somebody that there was a time in 2011, I had to have a special meeting with my pastor to convince him that I'm still with him, because I couldn't go to church. I could not go for church for almost, I think it's Benga and Imole that can confirm that, my wife as well, for almost 9 months or so. Why? Because then I have to be the lead person training in the class, and all our calendar then were, usually our calendar would start on Thursday and end on Sunday, because we're trying to push a training into the industry, and we realized that people go to work Monday to Friday. So we need to not work from Monday to Friday then. So we usually start our classes on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like that. And those are the days ordinarily you have to go to church. Maybe on Sunday, Saturday church, maybe night video on Friday. All of those things disappeared. I didn't do anything. No, it was all work, 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 work. But I think it's off now, because it also had a very negative impact on me. But now I can tell you that people that know me know I work hard and I also play hard. When I want to rest, I want to rest. There are some of people on the call today now that would have said, "Oh, that's we tried to call you, your number is off." You know, those days I used to think I cannot switch off my phone. How many of you feel that you cannot switch off your phone? Let me surprise you. Presently, there are days for a whole 24 hours, I turn on my phone. I don't want to hear anybody's noise. I don't want to see any WhatsApp message. I don't want to hear anything. I just want to sit down. If it's TV I want to watch, it's a book I want to read, it's a play I want to play, I just want to play. And my phone will be off. And, you know, when that happens, this I say, so nobody actually died. Why did I think somebody would die before if I turned on my phone? Nobody died. Everybody's alive. Because if I leave the phone on and you call me and it's a missed call, I'm just postponing the work. When I see the missed call, I have to start calling you back later. But once it is off, it is off. You cannot reach me. There's nothing you can say. Oh, your phone was off. Yes, it was off. I was busy or I was sleeping. So these days, I'm very intentional about managing my life, managing my family, managing my work. Work is there, business is there. We have to do everyone hard. I have to work hard. I have to play hard. Because at the end, if that balance is not sustained, both of them will suffer. You know, the career itself will suffer, the business will suffer, the family will suffer. And that's not where you want to be. And that's where I don't want to be. So I'm very intentional. I create time for my family. I create time for myself. You know, I decide what I want to do at some point and I get them done. So maybe that would be like a bit of a secret for some people that say, hey, now we know why this is goddamn time. I really do turn off my phone and I don't want to hear your voice. You know, I just want to be myself. I want to be my wife or be my kids and just maintain some life balance. Because at the end, like they say, Wahala will never finish. It is only those who are alive that can work. So I need to make sure that that also happens to me. Thank you.
Beautiful response, sir. Is there anything you have not shared with us about your career journey you have not touched so far? Have you round up?
Okay. All right. So I think one part of my career journey that I've not shared is the business part. Because being a safety professional is not the same as being a safety entrepreneur. It's different. So there are times I have to remove the caps, you know, and I'll tell you, for example, the first 3-4 years of my business life between 2011 and 2014 or thereabout, what happened to me was I was, rather than being a safety entrepreneur or a safety businessman, I was still a safety professional, which means I was just being a technical person and not minding business. There are some people who are on this call that will remember then that, I had people that came to do courses, even diploma in Nibosh for free. You only need to just tell me, and that's a course is taking place. Can I come? Oh, yeah, come. Recently, I was looking at our office and I saw some certificate that I have in my office that have been there for the past 10, 15 years. The owners have never come for it. Some of those courses were done for free, you know, because I was just being a technical person. The passion was driving me. Everybody needs to be a safety professional. Everybody needs to be competent. Everybody needs to know what to do. You want to do a course, just come in. You know, I organize the course. There's only 1 or 2 person coming. I throw it open to everybody. Anybody that can come and attend the course. And then by around 2014 or thereabouts, I was already struggling and I was crying somehow inside of me because the money was not coming in and we have finished spending all the money that we needed to do business with. And then I ran to a mentor. That was the first time I chose a business mentor. And I ran to a mentor and I said, please, I need help. Say, what happened to you? And I said, this. And the guy lashed me. So I left that place. And the first advice the person gave me was to go and do an MBA. As at that time, I had not done any MBA. I've only done an MSc and all of that. And everything was just safety. Say, you want to be a business person, you need to go to business school. Then that chased me to go and do a business, an MBA. I came out of that MBA in 2015 and I realized that truly I've not been a business person. I've only been a safety technical idiot that I put it. So there's a difference between the two. And I started asking myself, what does a businessman do? How does a businessman does his business? I left MBA. By 2016, I went to Lagos Business School. 2014-15, I went to London School of Business and Finance. I went into MBA and I went to learn business. So my advice to some of us who are here, who are also going to be safetypreneurs or who are already safetypreneur, there's a difference between a safety professional and a safety business person. There's a difference between the two of them. Passion still drives me, but now I have to do business and I have to count the beans. So counting the beans means I must know what works, what does not work. It doesn't change the fact that I'm still passionate about the industry, but now the language of business is sustainability. So if that's not working, it means you are not a business person. Let me just go and apply and come and get a job in Dangote, Yetunde, and collect your job and become the new safety manager there. If I'm not doing that, then I have to face business and do business the way business is being done. So that's one part of my career that I need to let you guys know, because at some point, a lot of us, in fact, some of us are already entrepreneurs in safety. You need to do it as business, not just as a technical person. And final one is, I learned also from one of my mentors that I have to give back to the society, and that is not a choice, it's a must. And that battered and put a structure to what we have been doing since 2010 on building careers in health and safety. And at the end of 2020, after the COVID, we came up with that decision that we have to formalize our opportunity to develop the competence in Nigeria, to help Nigerians to come into this industry, to support the young ones to know what to do. And that battered our technical safety, our technical skill development that we call the TSD, that we started doing. And the whole purpose of that is also to be able to express, because it's still part of my career journey, to be able to give back, to coach and to mentor, to train people and to get them to be able to fall in love. And more importantly, to give them a faster route than what I went through. So some of those that have gone through that training now in 6 months, you go ask them for their journey in the last 2 years. They are possibly 5 years, ahead now in what they are doing, just because of the kind of structure that we have now put in it to make it happen. So I would like to advise some of us also who are doing mentorship, coaching, and helping the younger ones. When you put a structure to it, it makes it work better. I see what I do right now. I see the joy of it, and I think it's more profitable. When I say profitable, it's not money for me because it's not done for money. By me, it's more, the success of it can show in the reality of people that are coming out and what they're able to do in the industry. And that for me is a beautiful, experience, which I would like to encourage most of us to also latch on to. Thank you so very much, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dapo. What service
Yeah.
do you currently provided that you want people to know? What kind do you provide? You want people to know
what do I do?
What kind of service do you do at the moment? You want people to know maybe the business you run, the training, just like for 1 minute for us to be clear.
All right, thank you very much for that. We say that we are our business is everything safety. The reason for that is because we know we have capacity to be able to do so many things when it comes to safety, but we are building capability in most of them. And so today we do training. We do a lot in consultancy. We provide personnel. We have our Federal Ministry of Labor, what do you call it now? Recruiters license to provide health and safety professionals to Nigerian health and safety professionals, not international, not foreign, not experts, but to provide Nigerian health and safety professionals to the industry. And that's what also culminates in our safety support that we do for, a lot of project activities, a lot of clients in Nigeria, where we provide the safety systems and the safety personnel that manage their different workplaces to ensure that there is no accident. We also have part of our business that does what you call the area lift or MEWP, work at height specialization. So we do a lot of work at height activity through equipment. We lease out the equipment. We train people. We have a business that is also registered with Ministry of Labor as an inspectorate. So we're able to inspect equipment. We have our inspector who can inspect equipment and certify equipment for use. Of course, in Nigeria, we are dangerous good experts. So we provide dangerous goods. Dangerous goods are the thing you call hazardous materials, but there's a part of the workplace that is called dangerous goods management. And that includes training, packaging of dangerous goods for airlines, training on the maritime safety, that is IMDG, and also on the road ADR. So a whole lot of those dangerous goods system. We don't just do the training, we also do consultancy in them. And recently, as part of our expansion into the industry, we also set up a security business, called Secure Plus Integrated Services, that also provides security services to the industry, security training, security outsourcing, and all of that. So I think I'll stop there. There are quite a few more, but that's why we say we're everything safety. We still have quite a number of business under our belt that in the next coming years, we'll be unveiling them. But we believe strongly that there's a whole lot of businesses around safety that everybody can do. And that's what we're trying to explore in the country. Thank you very much.
Any final thought or takeaway for our audience? Any final thought?
Well, for the audience and yourself especially, I would like to say thank you to you, Yetunde. This is a very good step. Thank you for having me here. And I think sharing my story will encourage one or two persons. And I hope, this is sustained. Seeing almost over 100 people on the call in your first outing tells you something. Get ready for an explosion of this event.
Thank you,
And
sir.
as you get more people to come in to share their story, some of us, I'm not just going to be a participant, I'm a speaker. I also want to come to the next one and learn from some other people's story, because again, story tells the story. Stories does the job well. If you ask me to read all of this, I cannot read it, but just telling the story makes people, get encouraged and motivated to go forward. And for the audience, especially the younger ones here, we are not yet there. We're all growing together, and let's go together. Let's take ourselves by the hand and let's move together. This journey in Nigeria is just starting. If you have chosen this career, please don't be discouraged no matter what your circumstances are right now. This career is a career of the future in Nigeria. You will not go wrong if you have the right attitude and the right competence. You will be happy in a few years' time and say, I'm happy I chose this career. And I can assure you, because that's what we have seen. And the seed that have been sown right now, I assure you the harvest will come very shortly. And interestingly, now that 5-10 years on, that's some of us will be dropping our belts. You are going to be the beneficiary of those seeds that have been sown. And so get ready for the harvest. It's very plenty. Thank you very much.
Now, if you have any question for Mr. Dapo, please raise your hand. I have Akim and Efe. And before I start with the audience, please, I want to appeal Mr. Dapo. I told him I'm starting this, and I said, you're going to be my first speaker. And he said, Yetunde, he did not even, he said, okay, let's go ahead. Please, thank you, Mr. Dapo. You actually gave me the courage to start this program. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you, Mr. Dapo. Akim, can you unmute and speak, please? Akim, can you unmute and speak?
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for the expository story, because I think there is a lot to learn from your story. And thank you so much once again, sir. So my name is Mukhtar Hakim. And my question goes thus, that how do you manage and sustain your career in an organization where the culture treats safety as merely as a compliance requirement, restricting your ability to be impactful and innovative? And how do you reignite your passion when this environment begins to affect your motivation?
Okay, so let me give you a very simple answer to this. First, you are not going to get to any business or any workplace where you will get 100% acceptance of what you are doing. Now, what you are talking about is the percentage of acceptance that company even decides to have safety. Hakim, let me tell you, some 20 years ago, some of them do not care to even have a safety officer. As a matter of fact, some of them will tell you, we're only bringing you here because we want to fulfill the requirement of the law. So I want to tell you, the chances you have is that you always have a passing by. Everywhere you are right now, make your impact until it is time for you to transit. And I will say that very clearly, because it gets to the point where where you are may no longer be leading to the future that you are seeing. Or I put it in another way, where you get to a point where you find yourself no longer contribute to your development. And that's the time to make this switch. The switch is not because we want you to be running from one place to the other. You may not get, how do I put this on? If I'm in a place where they are not allowing me to do what I want to do, but I'll know within myself that I have only 1 or 2 years remaining because there's something I need to learn here. What will I do? So the answer is, what is your own career goal and objective? Don't stay there because you do not have another place to go to. Stay there because you have not completed what you are learning there. As soon as you complete what you are learning in that place, even if the money is plenty, it's time to leave. Because your career is your career, the business is the business. So you can't tell somebody after 20 years and say, hey, I stayed there because the company is they're just compliance driven, they don't want to do anything, and that's why I did not grow. I'm sorry. That means you don't have a career plan yourself, because you should have your own plan. And I've had people like Akim Mustafa talk about, when Akim was saying this in one of the sessions that I attended, I was talking, he said, I give myself that I will spend 2 years here, I will spend 3 years, I will spend this month here, and I'm leaving. I guess that's what we should do as part of our career plan. If something changes, you know it is changing because something has changed. But you are not just sitting because they are not doing it well and they don't want to do it well. I've tried to convince them, you cannot squeeze water out of stone. If the stone is not ready to become malleable, it's time to get out. As long as your career goal has been achieved, then you move on. That's my advice for you. I'm not saying you should resign or somebody should resign, but your career growth is what determines where you are right now. So what do you have for your own plan? What if I ask you now, what are you going to be doing the next 3 years? If you have that answer, you can tell me if that answer fits where you are now. And if it doesn't fit it, it's time to leave. It's time to leave. That's it. Thank you very much, Hakim. Sorry,
Yeah,
it could be
thank you so
better,
much, sir.
but if I'm your mentor, that's the way I'll speak to you. And I'm your
Thank you
mentor.
so
So I'm your mentor. So if that applies for
thank you so
you,
much, sir.
show me your career path and your career plan. If that's it, go with it. It's not how much they pay you or how much the business likes safety. It's your career plan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ife, please unmute and ask your question. Ife, can you please unmute and ask your question?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Dapo, for this learning call. The truth be told, I have a variety of questions. So, question one, you have spoken about having a purpose and all that, and you spoke about passion. But then again, it seems like at times, if you don't bring a balance to considering forms, you may be in a loophole. So, for example, now, someone can be somewhere where probably you're getting adequate funds. And those funds at times is even needed in your career development. When you talk about some of these courses, there are courses that are cost intensive, as the case may be. So, for example, if someone wants to be doing a diploma today, they're going to be talking about millions. They're going to be talking about average of nothing less than 1.5 and above, which is funds driven. So at times, how does one even balance this? When you're, for example, you're in a particular place, they may not have the adequate practices, but then you're getting the finances that you need to develop yourself. So how do you balance that? Because one, you're saying passion, and from what you've said also, the business part of the safety this thing had to make you understand that you needed to go from passion to also talking about your funds part. So that's the entrepreneurship part. One, or that individual part, you must also consider the fund aspect. That is one. Then two,
Can I answer that
how
quickly?
do you?
Don't forget. Can I answer that
Okay,
quickly?
yes.
So, and that answer will be very simple for you. And I'll go back to what I've just said now, brother. I didn't tell you some part of my story where I had to sell my properties, sell my rings, sell everything I had. You can ask my wife for this in order to go and do a course because I needed that course for my career growth. Now, it's very easy for us to stay in a place because you are earning salary. The person I gave you an example of, for 15 years, I've been earning salary. And it's just because if I live here and I want to go and do a course and I'm earning salary and I don't have the money to something, I cannot progress. Now, before you could wake up, he has spent 16 years. He's now 48 years old. And he's wondering, what can I do next? That this is what they have been doing for me for 20 years. Who am I supposed to blame for that? Myself? No, the reason is because the guy has no career plan. Please, you
Okay,
need to
beautiful.
have your career plan. This is one of the things that some of us did not have. If you have a career plan, do you know you can quit a job and go to school and say, I'm not taking this salary again. I'll go and borrow money and I'll go to school and come back because that's my career plan. You need a career plan. This is what is missing because there's no way you can think the money will be the one that will determine the career plan for you. You have to tell
Because
yourself,
don't you take advantage?
where will
Don't
I
you take
be in
advantage
10
of the
years' time?
present
What would
time?
you want to do in 10 years?
Mm,
Once
mm,
you're able to decide what you want to do in 10 years' time from now, and you break it into every 2 years, you understand that where
mm,
you are may just be working against what you want to be in 10 years.
mm,
And
mm, mm,
that's the truth.
mm,
Our younger people today are so focused on. I learned about career pathway in a long way ago, but that's after I already wasted almost 5 years of my life doing nothing before somebody told me the right thing to do. So by the time I said I was going to quit where I was working, I didn't tell you that part of the story. I said I was going to quit and I was going to be I was leaving. And my manager looked at me and said, no, you cannot go. I said, what do you mean I cannot go? I said this plan to go in 2012. My plan was to resign in 2012 to become an entrepreneur. I set
mm,
out to program in 2010 August. I was expecting 100 people in the meeting. I saw over 400 people who wants to become safety professional. I left that program, got to my house, and I was crying. I said, no, it's time to resign. And it was 2 years to my plan of resignation from workplace. I got back to work and I put in my letter. I said, I'm resigning right now. Do you know why? I have 2 years plan to resign and become an entrepreneur. I saw the seed already and I was not ready to let go and I resigned. I had a plan, my brother. If you don't have a plan,
mm.
sorry, no matter what you have, it's going to be a waste. You need a career plan. And that's what will
Okay.
help you. Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank you.
that's noted, sir. All I was just saying, at times, funds in a particular place can help you in that career plan. Like I started HSC 2021, and between then, I've been able to get like 4 certificates as the case may be. And I can tell you for free that funding from where I was working was very, very, very helpful in
That's it.
achieving it. And even this year, I still have more things to achieve. So that's by the way. The second question is that how are you able to cope in a Nigeria that really puts safety as secondary to in this in terms of your being an entrepreneur? Because let us be sincere, I from my observation, I have been saying it, and I don't want to be a prophet of doom, I could be corrected. I do not, in this case where we are seeing Nigerian companies taking after the oil and gas assets and all that, I don't see it lasting long because the things and the tenets that have been set by the white man long ago, we seem to bypass a lot of things, and it's really, really heartbreaking. We don't see importance in a lot of things. We bypass a lot of things, and I'm wondering how long are we going to pursue? So, as an entrepreneur, who in quotes, you're talking about your passion towards the profession, and at times it's like if you are preaching that to a company, the company is looking at you and say, "Oh, God, stay one side. Just permit me to use that word." So, how are you really coping? And is it really viable? And you also get to have international clients who tend to appreciate safety more.
All right. Thank you, Faye. I see your passion, and it's very good you're asking this question. And let me tell you that you are 2021, you started, you are a lucky guy, my brother. That's about 20 years ago for me. And if you are feeling this way, can you imagine how we were feeling 20 years ago about safety in Nigeria? Just
Mm,
imagine how we were feeling 20 years ago in the 1999, 2000, 2001. Can you just think about it, how safety was in Nigeria? So if you
mm,
have that thought and you can think it, then you understand that where you guys are now is a better place, my brother. Forget about Nigerians not accepting safety or nothing. The level of acceptance is growing now. Are you going to be part of people that will contribute to the growth? That's what you should be chasing right now. But where we are now
mm,
is so, in fact, I don't know what percentage I would have counted it if I have to compare to where we were when we started. It's beautiful. You're in a
mm,
beautiful place now. Even though Nigerians, they don't understand safety yet, but it's a beautiful place. Make up your mind to be part of the contributors to this change, because the change is ongoing. The impact is increasing. Look at what Yetunde has come up with. This is an impact. This is an impact. This is value creation. The question you should be asking yourself is, what are you going to contribute to what has been laid? Let me let you know, the foundation has been laid already. So let's all of us start building on it. It can only get better than it is now. That's my assurance for you. And how I've been surviving, I did not stop. Because if I stop, you will not have this kind of event. I've not stopped. I keep going. Yes, no food on the table, we move. So let's keep moving. Efe, we'll get there very shortly, but we're already on the right track. We are on course. I can assure you we're on course. We're not missing our way yet. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. We are meant to round up in next 10 minutes, so we have Emmanuel, Abel. Can you please unmute and ask your question?
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, sir, Mr. Dapo. I really appreciate your presence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yetunde, for this program. Now, sir, my questions are those two. Number one, as a safety person who is just growing up in this career, with the high cost of, and you don't have a background of Nebosh yet, but you are doing well in your safety, and with the high cost of this Nebosh stuff, sir, what can someone do? Even though where you are practicing now, you are in your third company where you are practicing, though the pay is not that encouraging, and this Nebosh is just going up, and you need to do it or thereabout. Sir, what can someone do? Number one.
Hey, Barry, you're making me laugh. It's just going up. Okay. All right. Number two question. Maybe I can add the two together.
Okay, then number two is in Nigeria today, we see most of workplaces that are they are operating in a very, very hazardous state. For example, in a workplace in Songo Ota, where they produce leather, the rate in which these employers are dealing with workers there is terrible. Because the guy who did an under report gave the report, and I was there, I saw it. I felt bad. One, they don't have a safety person, but we have government agencies who do come to these companies and they do inspections and they just go, and yet nothing is still done. Sir, now what can we do? What can we do to help the government to fight and to handpick all these people who are operating dangerously in the country? That's my second question.
So I'll answer the second one quickly. It's very easy to answer. Join the team, join the voice to make a workplace safe in Nigeria. We have a whole lot of factors that are not making it work the way we want it to work, but we will not stop talking about all of this. What are you contributing? Let's not be part of those that emphasize and blow out the problem. Let's be part of those who are going to bring out the solution. So what solution are you also willing to bring to make sure that the workplace becomes safe? I remember at my earliest start of my career or even my business, I used to do free services where I go to a company and say, let me just do risk assessment for you and help you keep yourself safe. You don't need to pay. I just want to contribute that to your journey and all of that. My guy Wale Bakari is here. So those are things you can do. Not just what can Nigeria do for you, but what can you do for Nigeria when it comes to safety? We can do a whole lot. What we need a lot here is a lot of a campaign. Let all of us be talking about things that we can talk about to make the workplace safe. Again, it's better than how it used to be. It may not be at the speed we're all expecting it, but we're making progress. And we need to sustain that progress very well. Number two, about Nibosh or any other cause, I'm not here to advertise Nibosh. I want you to know that what you need is for you to be competent. And yes, Nibosh may be very highly placed there because it is it's globally marketed, but you just need to be focused on competence and getting relevant certifications. It's not just Nibosh that falls into that category right now. So please talk to people that are mentoring you, talk to people that are going ahead of you. What else can you do? I'm one of those people that I'm trusting God very seriously that ISMO will step up to the right place in the next coming year, and we can have qualification coming from our own industry. We need it. We need our own industry. We need our own country. We need ISMO to step up. We are all part of it, and we trust that this will happen very solid. When that happens, all the emphasis on all other foreign qualification will be an additional emphasis. The primary emphasis is that do we have something that makes us competent? Once we have it, then get it. So don't be hyper focused on NIBOSH. Just get ready to be competent, and that you can achieve in several formats. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Dapo. Emmanuel, can you please unmute and speak? Emmanuel, can you please unmute and speak? If you're not there, okay. Emmanuel, can you please unmute and speak? Okay.
Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Dapo, and good afternoon, everyone. It's really been an interesting discussion, and I've learned a lot. But I have this concern. I am a graduate of chemistry and just switched over into HSC less than 2 years ago, almost 2 years now. And I've been doing my best to see I can grow, getting courses all around, NEBOSH as well. Just started the course on NEBOSH. And then my major concern is, as I desire to grow higher in HSC, I have this background concern. Since I'm not engineering inclined, nor do I have a background in environmental science, as I see most flyers and adverts requesting for engineering background and environmental science. Can I fly high as a graduate of chemistry in HSC?
Okay. Okay, so your question is just this. So I studied forestry in my first degree. I'm a health and safety consultant today. Does that answer your question?
Very well, very well, very well.
So which one would you have? Would you have loved to be a forester?
No.
You see now. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Chemistry background is not a disadvantage for you. If you are willing, today I sit on construction safety, on analysis of CDIM, and I'm participating, but my background is in forestry. So don't worry yourself. Chemistry is a good discipline for you to advance and become very successful in safety. So just go for it.
Yeah,
and
but
thank you.
The reason why I asked is because I'm in the construction line.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly why I'm having this concern.
Just keep growing. It's just 2 years. That's why you're still growing with it. So don't be too fast to learn everything one day. You cannot learn everything one day. Give yourself time.
All right.
Do your career mapping. Tell yourself what discipline or what skill do you need to learn. Keep learning the skill. In a matter of time, you're going to be there. But don't think you're.
Thank you.
Even if you have gone into safety with engineering, you still may not be successful if you don't understand what you need to learn.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. So our last question, Mr. Barnabas, can you please unmute and speak? Mr. Barnabas, can you please unmute and speak? Mr. Barnabas, can you please unmute and speak?
Yes. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's all right. I'm really glad joining this class or the program. Let me put it in that way. Kudos to our uncle, our daddy, Mr. Dapo. I have learned a lot today. Having this conversation, hearing this conversation from you, and I am encouraged. I'm also a safety person. I've started a career as a flagman years back in 2014. And when I want to start going for safety courses, someone discouraged me, just as it was saying earlier. But sometimes you have people that you think you will meet and they will encourage you, guide you to go the right way. The person rather discouraged me by telling me that I just have only secondary school certificate. So why am I going for safety course? Safety course is for those who have degree and masters. We go for safety. I was somehow pissed off. But along the line, I continued doing this flagman work until the project manager, my safety manager then, send his driver to pick me and send me to attach to a safety officer that was controlling a particular project. I should work with this guy. So I worked with him like half of a year. Along the line, the man called me and gave me a document to sign. I wanted to go through it, say, just Barnabas sign it, and I pen down my signature. He sent me to go to admin. I went there, signed another document. Just to cut the story short, they sent me to wages and they give me 60,000. He told me that this is your pocket money. I'm sending you to go for a training because I see you have a burning desire in this field and I want you to grow. This is where the journey of my safety in this career started. So to cut the story short, I see myself today in the field and I've never regret why joining this field. I dropped out from university, my first year in university, because I lost my parents and I have younger ones and no one to cater for them. So I decided to fight for them. Thank God today, all of them are graduate. So, but it's through this line that I have sponsored many of them. And through one of your training, Ayosh, I have attended it this last year. One of your facilitators called Bode Olaniyon and Mr. Abiodun. They are good. I've learned a lot in the Ayosh training for site construction managers. And so I'm seeing this in what I have learned or hear from you today inspired me more to dig deep in this career. So I'm just here to say thank you. You are a blessing to my own generation. And I pray God should keep you and give you long life, inspire you with more knowledge so that you can share it across the globe. I'm really proud of you and I see what your team is doing. It's not only that one alone. I also have with INSPO. This is where I have started, and I also have BBS, also with the World Organization. So I thank you for your encouragement, encouraging the younger ones and those who are picking up in the career. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Barnabas. Thank you. No comment on that. Thank you so much, Barnabas.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone, for joining the program. This is the end of the program. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We have over 100 people here, and it's really make me so happy. Being the first program, I was so anxious and everything. I don't know how it's going to be. I've seen so many comments. Thank you, Mr. Wali Bakare, for being there for me, Madam Monica, Mom Nofisat, everybody here, Mr. James, thanks for joining. Everybody, Alfred, thank you, everyone, for joining. I appreciate you, everyone, and for making me start this program. You gave me a head to know that I can move on. Thank you, everyone. Stay glued at my LinkedIn page. We are going to be doing also sometime, might not be live, might be a chat too on the LinkedIn page. So follow up. So, and if you want to really share your program, you want to share yourself, maybe your story with me, you're also free to do that. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day ahead and happy 2025.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank
For this
you.
program, I want to
Well
improve.
done, Yetunde. Well done,
I
Dapo.
want to improve. This is the first program. Please send me a message. Tell me what to improve on. I don't want to improve. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so much.
And thank you,
Okay,
Mr.
thank you so much.
Dapo, for joining me
God
for the
bless.
first time. Thank you so
God
much.
bless you.
Thank you very much. Yetunde, please drop your number or let's get your number
Okay,
so we can reach you.
Oga James, I didn't know.
Drop my
Good to
number,
see you.
please.
Thank you so much, bros.
Well done, Prof. Well done.
Oga.
Well done.
Thank you. All
Well
right.
done, Dr. Dapo.
My,
Well
my,
done, sir.
Dapo.
That was great.
Thank you very much. Name. Thank
Well,
you.
yeah, we have over 100 people, and this Zoom was for
Dapo. I agree
100 people. So I was like, if you're more than 100,
I'm saluting. No, I'm saluting.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye
God
bye,
bless you
everyone.
all. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye.
Monkey dem get all this